What is up, guys? It is Mental Health Monday, and today our topic is social media and the role it plays in your mental health. So, let me just close this out because of my reflection. So, what I have noticed over since the time I think I got on Facebook in 2009. So, what I've noticed from being on social media from that length of time was a lot of jealousy and a lot of things can be fostered with this social media situation. So people are looking at everyone's lives and they're seeing like, oh, this person is in their 20s and they got this, or this person's in their 40s and they got this, or this person doesn't have this yet, this person has kids and I don't. And a lot of the things that are pushed out on social media are done from like a society point of view. So you see certain images and you relate that to your standard of beauty even without knowing that it's been imposed on you. The reason that I ever had even joined social media was due to my family living in different states. It was a way for me to catch up. So there are positives to social media. You can reach out to family members and friends you haven't seen in years and you can see how they're doing. And that was my intent for joining social media, was to make sure that I was reaching out to people that I want to be in constant contact with, but I didn't see on a regular basis. And we're not really talking on the phone like we used to. And trust me, I'm a person, I don't really like talking on the phone. So when I actually miss talking on the phone, then something is like really, really crazy. But it does replace a lot of genuine like interactions with people, and a lot of things get misconstrued when you're on social media. The way that your tone might come across, a person's reading it differently than what you intended it to be. And so a lot of things can be misunderstood when you're on social media. So I feel like it is still important to keep those relationships, outside of social media, so people that actually know you and your tone won't take offense to things. Whereas people that maybe only know you on social media, they might read into something and see it differently than what is intended. So you spend a lot of time kind of explaining yourself because of this tone situation. But me, I'm pretty sarcastic, and the people around me know that I'm sarcastic and they know not to read too much into things that I say. But if I only know you through social media, then you might read it differently. Like, dang, she's such a, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, maybe I am. Another thing on social media that I had noticed was how it can make you insecure in your relationships. So, for instance, people start noticing or looking or watching what their significant other is liking or posting or commenting to, and it kind of creates this world where you feel like they are cheating, perhaps because you're seeing them like another person's comments, or you're looking at them like, you don't like my pictures whenever I post X, Y, and Z. And they're like, I see you every day. Like, I tell you in real life, which should be more important. But then again, like, the social media aspect of life tends to outweigh real life. So let's say I compliment my partner every day, like, dang, you look good, blah, blah. But and then they'd be like, well, when I was on social media, you didn't say that. And I'm like, but I told you to your face. Does that matter? Social media in a category where it weighs more than what's happening in reality. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are not able to distinguish between what's really authentic in real life now because they have so much weight emphasized in the social media aspects. So now it's playing a role in our relationships. You tend to spend a lot of more time on your phone now. I said a lot more time on your phones now. And so you're not spending like genuine time together where you're off your phone, off social media, and you're just spending time together. Now, like, I find myself doing this. Like, I send my husband like things I've read through DMs, and instead of kind of like talking to him about it, I send him things and I'm like, oh, I just read this, I just saw this meme, I just, you know what I mean? And I send it to his inbox versus talking to him about it. But also, like, we're on these weird schedules, so that's how we communicate, basically through memes. So It kind of replaces some of our interaction in our everyday lives because, you know, it's just so easy to quick send something and be like, that's kind of like, oh, you were thinking of me type thing. And when we are together, there's times that we're just kind of looking at each other's phones and like, oh, this is funny, and showing each other things versus having like some time together where we're actually discussing things. So it kind of like takes away sometimes the deepness of the relationship due to the fact that there's so much emphasis, say, on the social media aspect. Like our time together would have been like recording a video or looking at Instagram together versus like what we used to do in the past is like going out, and it was no phone zone. So it's like when we do go out, there's no phones. We take a quick picture together and then we have to put our phones away and just have that time because social media is very time consuming. So much to the point that you can be on it very late at night and disrupt your sleep, which also plays a role in your mental health because you're not sleeping properly, and it tends to affect you because you're always on social media looking. And then like say when I wake up in the middle of the night, I end up, instead of trying to go right back to sleep, I end up scrolling on social media, and I don't fall like right back to sleep. I end up staying up longer and searching, even though that stuff will be there tomorrow. It's not going to be anything that I'm missing out on, but it does mess me up for when I'm trying to sleep. Most of us have to admit that we do have some sort of addiction to social media. So it leads to, as I mentioned before, lack of sleep, which ends up creating anxiety and depression. I feel like social media manipulates how you feel about things. So when they're bombarding you with images of people that look a certain way all the time and they're not promoting other images of people, like say for instance they're like, oh, this blonde hair blue eyed person looks beautiful, and say you're a person with dark hair and dark eyes and they keep promoting this as the image of beauty. Oh goodness. They keep promoting this as the image of beauty, then you kind of tend to look at yourself like, oh my gosh, like I'm not beautiful. Or they promote images of lighter skinned African Americans versus dark skinned African Americans, and you start looking at yourself like you're not beautiful when beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It has nothing to do with how society is set up. Society does these things, like for instance back in the day, the brown paper bag situation, or who was in the house and who wasn't, and they created this standard of beauty that no longer exists. We're all beautiful, we're all gorgeous, like those things should no longer exist. I've seen so many beautiful people of so many races, like it shouldn't even matter. And what I think is beautiful, the next person might not. So beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I just feel like don't group yourself with other people. You don't want to fit in with the crowd, you want to stand out. And I think social media creates it to where you feel like you have to do what's trending and what's cool, what's in, and if you're not able to do those things or you're not doing those things, you feel like left out of a situation when there's no situation. It's just a bunch of sheep flocking in the same direction, and why not be that one going in a different direction? Just be you and be true to who you are. Oh my goodness. And be true to who you are. So you saw me checking my phone right there. You see what I'm saying? So I think the people that push out things in the media are trying to push their agendas on you of what they deem are beautiful qualities. Goodness, these dogs. What they think are beauty, what standards of beauty, what images they want to put out, what news they want to leak, because you know the media has control of a lot of things that are going on. And even when we're the ones posting things, they promote certain things that we're posting. So if I'm like, oh, black is beautiful and this and that, they might not want to promote that, but they might promote something else. So that's like not along those lines, and they put their agenda on us. And that's why it's up to us to look deeper than what social media puts out, because they do play with your psyche, and if you're not aware, you can just be going down this rabbit hole of things that have nothing to do with you, really. This is another person's standard of beauty. It has nothing to do with you at all. So don't fall into that hole, because we all have something to contribute. My advice for people, like, take breaks from social media, give yourself some time away from it so that you can kind of like tune back into what's going on with you emotionally and your feelings, because a lot of times when we're on these platforms and things, we get kind of locked into this stuff and we don't register our own feelings, because you're looking at this and you're looking at that and what's going on social media. So you're not focusing on yourself and your real feelings and being in tune with yourself. So check in with yourself emotionally and see how you're doing, because it's hard. It gets overwhelming at times. People tend to be like in competition with one another on here, and there's no need for that. I think we can uplift each other and we can all grow and watch each other succeed, and it doesn't have to be a competition. I mean, I think there's a such thing as healthy competition. I'm very competitive myself. Excuse me, I do believe that there is healthy competition, but I don't want it to be something unhealthy where you're chasing things that are unattainable to you right now and feeling like inadequate because you're not able to reach those goals as soon as the next person, because everything is not supposed to happen within a certain amount of time in life. Society puts these like rules on us, like if you don't have kids by 25, you don't do this by this, you don't buy a house by the time you're 25, and they put these unjust, like unfair rules on us, and it makes us feel inadequate. Because if I were a woman, I would feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old, I don't have kids yet. But what if they don't even want kids? Like, that's okay too. You don't have to follow society rules, and that should be in your house or whether it's on social media. Make sure that you're looking at images that you want to see. Like, most of my stuff and most of the pages I follow have some kind of melanin in it. When I first started, everyone looked the same, and I was like, okay, it just helps, shape your own Instagram, shape your own images of what you want to see, and don't compare yourself to the next person. Make sure that you're always taking breaks, checking in with yourself, and, make your own goals and your own, attainable goals that don't make you feel like you're not succeeding in life. Because it's hard to be out there and you're looking at other people. Like, it is, to me, it is amazing when I see like somebody that's like in their 20s, they had a house, and I'm like, that's pretty dope. Like, I wish I had that kind of, like, at 26, I did want to buy my first house, and I didn't. But I do like when I see other people going out there and achieving that. I want my kids to achieve that. So to me, it's not a bad thing. It's an amazing thing. I'm happy for all of those who accomplish whatever they're out to do. I'm happy when they achieve those goals, because you should be clapping for the next person, and you shouldn't be like upset at them because they reached this goal before you, because we all will reach it. It might take some of us longer than others, but at the end of the day, we're all going to get there eventually. So don't worry about it. Don't put so much pressure on yourself while looking at other people on social media, because while you're looking at people on social media, they're out there living their lives and we're just watching them, right? So you kind of have to sorry, I don't know, I never got this angle right, and now that it's towards the end, I'm like, let me get it right. But you don't have to watch the next person live their life. You can go out, achieve your dreams and your goals, and do it on your own. You don't need to wait or have permission from anybody to do anything that you want. Just do it on your own. It's more than okay. And just make sure that if you are having feelings of anxiety or depression or loneliness, reach out to people and make sure that you are. Another thing that comes along with all this is secrecy. You know how people are always sliding in DMs and doing things that they're not supposed to behind one another's backs, which creates a whole situation where people are wanting to check everyone's phones. My phone is easily accessible to everyone, has my code in this house. So I don't have anything to hide, but some people do feel the need to have their code on all the time and hide their phones. And it does create like situations where people are feeling insecure, like you're doing things, especially when you're like married or in a long-term relationship, someone not letting you see their phone, or being very secretive about their phones, is it's kind of like, what's going on? I mean, I'm not a person that's like, let me reach for my husband's phone or anything like that. I really don't care personally. But some people, they feel very protective over their phone, and it does create something where you might feel like, what's going on? Why are you hiding your phone? And not only do you have to worry about text messages being exchanged, but now you have to look at all their social media inboxes if you're looking, and it's like, that can be exhausting and all that. But yeah, like I said, Kevin has access to my phone. If he wants it, I have access to his phone, and we leave them out and whatever. Well, he usually has his phone on him, but my phone's wherever at whatever given time. So I don't have problems with sharing my social media or anything because I don't have anything to hide. So I have, like, an open phone policy, like, that doesn't matter if you look at my phone or not. I'm not tripping off of that because I'm not doing anything. But yeah, all in all, it just can create these feelings of jealousy. There's a lot of secrecy that goes on in social media. There's times where you feel like you're not doing enough in your life, you don't look right, and we're not all meant to be carbon copies. We're all meant to look different. If that was the case, then we would have all been born looking the same, but we all are different. We're all from different places. We have different backgrounds, so we're not meant to be carbon copies of one another. And how boring would that be? Like, you go to the same house, everyone's house looks the same, you come out, everyone looks the same. Like, boring. Live your life, do you? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, just take care of your needs. Register with yourself, like, hey, I noticed that I'm feeling a little anxious being on social media, and get off of it, take a break from it. We all can reduce our screen time some. If we're being honest with ourselves, we can all just spend some time away from the screen. And what we tend to do on breaks, what we tend to do, anytime, like before you start your car, you can be looking at it. Like, you just don't even register, except for when you have an iPhone, because they tell you about how your screen time. Mine went down 9%. I was really happy about that. But they tell you about your screen time and stuff like that. They say like a good amount of time on social media is actually like an hour per day, and that doesn't seem like a lot, because say you watch a YouTube video and it's 20 minutes, then you only have 40 minutes, so people are probably like, that is not enough time to be on social media. Plus, it's being updated constantly throughout the day. And people like to be in the know of what's going on with their friends constantly, and their family, and people that, celebrities and stuff like that. So they constantly want to see the updates. But, they say like an hour is actually good. And I find that when I detox from social media, I do feel a lot better throughout the day than I do like when I'm constantly on it. And it's not even like, oh, I'm jealous of their lives. It's just that there's just so much that happens in a day. I don't know if you guys remember back in August, there was the El Paso shooting. So all throughout the news and everything, they talked about it over and over and over again. It was traumatic because we were out here, and in a video I had mentioned, like, we were on our way to pick up an order that my husband had on that side of town. So we were heading out, we were just leaving our neighborhood. I had vlogged it and everything, and all of a sudden it gets canceled, and he gets another order, it gets canceled. And then we hear over the radio, like, this situation happened, but it just kept going on and on. Like, every time we got in the car and we listened to the radio, that's what was happening. And it kind of reminded me of 9/11. And it was something that, it was very traumatic, over and over and over again. So not only images, not only like people, strangers were coming up to me when I was in Walmart, and they're talking to me about it. You know what I mean? Wherever you went, there was just this very dark and heavy feeling, because this is a pretty small area, and people were impacted. It created a lot of anxiety. And so not only was it already like the situation itself awful, but then you're carrying it over and over again. And imagine the families who were impacted by it, because me, I wasn't directly impacted by it, only by living here. But imagine the people that were directly in the store and the loved ones who've lost people, and it just creates a lot of anxiety. But if you're constantly seeing these images over and over again, it just creates this like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared to go to Walmart now. On the real, like, I feel like not only social media but the news, you know, people that are running and in charge of these things, they know what they're doing by plaguing you with the same kind of images over and over again and over and over again. So it does like help when you take a break and a breather and you back off from it and you just like gather yourself, and then when you feel like you can, just go back on it. But honestly, it's not all positive all the time when you go on there. There's some times where it's just bad news. So if there's something that's very traumatic that happens, you tend to see it over and over again. A lot of people can use something like, oh, well, my friend bought a house as motivation to try to get their lives in order, or they can feel down on themselves about it. And I do believe, like, a lot of times when people are like hating on other people, it could be because they're just not in that place in life and it upsets them. And I can understand that, because, you know, you're like, I've been working X amount of years and I don't have X, Y, and Z yet. This person has it, and I can understand it being frustrated, especially if you were working towards a similar goal and this person reached their goal faster than you did, you know what I mean? But like I said, everything comes with due time. Don't worry about how fast Susie got it, you know what I mean? Your time is coming. Your time is coming, and don't compare yourself to the next person, because at the end of the day, you know, we're all meant to be different. We all bring something different to the table, and that's how you learn and grow from people. It's just by being different and having different, you know what I mean? If we all did the same thing, what could you possibly learn about someone else? That's why it's good to have other cultures and, you know, a nice melting pot around you so you can learn about different people and different cultures. But at the end of the day, my advice to you is just learn to take breaks from social media. It's all going to be there when you get back, trust me. And at the rate that social media goes, it's just always something like constantly being updated. There's never a time, even with my channel, like my thing with the smallest amount of followers, it's constantly updating. I don't even have to refresh. They're like, new post, new post. And I'm like, I don't even follow that many people. So it's constantly being updated, and I just feel like, you know, keep yourself protected from things that are being forced upon you that you may not even realize, images and things like that. Just protect yourself from those things, because they can be very damaging to your psyche without you even registering it. And then the next thing you know, like, you're like, oh my goodness, I want to look like this, I want to do that, I would be better if I was like this. And that's not true. You're perfect how you are. I love you how you are. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry that I keep missing Mental Health Monday. Kevin is like, our schedules are weird. He has a ton of appointments now, so I did it solo. I don't even think he had notes together or anything anyways, even though it's supposed to have been done last week. So so just honestly take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, and if there's anything you guys want to add, want to see, anything like that, please mention it down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share. And I'm definitely gonna try to get back on a schedule. It's been really hard. I don't know why, since Vlogmas I have been so unmotivated, and it's just been the craziest thing. Plus, like, I've been doing other things behind the scenes, so I've been focusing on those things. But I am going to get back onto at least my Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. I was trying to think of something that is kind of predictable, that would be good for the channel. Because I mean, although I don't know, yeah, I guess you guys would have to tell me like what are some things that you would want to see, or what are you into. I want to keep Mental Health Monday as it stands, and then I wanted to incorporate maybe a live with Kevin and I on Fridays, and then that Wednesday slot might be the vlog. I don't know. So we're just gonna have to see what's going on. I like to have good content for you guys. Like, I want to be able to bring you good content. I'm trying to reach out to somebody that I met through Instagram, and she has a very interesting story that I really would really want her to share. And I hope that, I don't know, like, I'm torn about it because I don't want anything to, I don't know. I just worry about any type of negative energy coming towards people, and I don't ever want to be the source of that, because I know, like, I don't believe she's on YouTube, so I don't want to bring any negative energy towards her or anything like that. But I do feel like I want her story to be told, because it was very, like, it's something that everybody needs to hear, especially nowadays. So I'm gonna see if I can get her to talk, or at least if she'll allow me to like speak about her, you know what I mean, so that I can just put this in one of my topics. It would be a great topic. So yeah, I just want to be able to bring content that I know would be beneficial to my audience, because every time I post, I want to make sure that I'm putting out the right type of energy, the right type of message, and things like that. I don't want to just be, I mean, vlogging, I like it, it's cool, but I'm looking for something a little more deep now. You know, that's my real, genuine personality, is to get people to think and talk about things that they normally wouldn't talk about. So that's kind of like the things that I'm focused on right now, and because that would be me in my everyday life. But again, I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. It is Mental Health Monday. Make sure you're taking care of your health, mentally, physically, emotionally, otherwise, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you for spending your minutes with us. We really, really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. I love the positive feedback that we get, and even if it reaches one person, to me, that is just the message that I would like to send out. Is just one person came away with something and was like, you know, I learned something, or I felt something, or it resonated with me, and to me that's important. So yeah, I guess that's about it. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say goodbye, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts, any like mental health topics you want for Monday, or any topics in general. And I'll see you in the next video. One more thing. Oh my gosh, one more. I don't know where to put you guys. I'm sorry, I'm on my phone now. One more thing. Thank you and shout out to my daughter. She gave me the Mental Health Monday topic 2 weeks ago, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kimana. Go to her channel. She does have a Patreon. We have not used it yet, but go to her channel, show her some love, Kimana Christine, and I will see you guys again. I don't know what's going on with me. I meant to put that in the beginning of the video, and here it is at the end. So, love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.